The second episode of Raw this evening. No major title changes. Cody kind of got his revenge, and looks like Bad Bunny is competing with Logan Paul for the best celebrity wrestler guy in the WWE that I'm skipping most of their matches. We're going to run down Raw, we're going to run down SmackDown, and then we're going to get the meat and potatoes of Backlash. And hopefully y'all join us, get a drink. Now I'm rambling, so let's just get into it. How you doing?
Pretty good.
I thought
Pretty.
I started off pretty strong, but then kind of floundered there.
You just gotta end it. But yeah, it was a pretty good little backlash. I mean,
You,
nothing major happened news wise, but it did what they needed to do. It was more of like a specialty show, I would say.
or I felt like it was a Raw or a SmackDown,
Without
especially some of the
commercials. Well,
finishes, man.
that without commercials, but I got commercials because I'm cheap.
I got to commercials too. I remember there was a point where Cole was like, "Oh, if you have premium, we're gonna give you this extra content." And I was waiting for it, and then I got some fucking diaper ad or some shit.
Yeah, me too. He was like, "Yeah, those of you with premium, we're gonna show you this," and it's like, and then it cuts to commercial. I was like, "Yeah, because I'm cheap."
That's all right though.
Yeah, is what it is.
So you want to kick off Raw?
Yeah, so we kick off Raw. Now there wasn't too much to go over on Raw. I'll go ahead and say that.
No,
But
there wasn't.
we were in Funky Town, so that's worth noting. Fort Worth, Texas. We start the show with the draft.
Wait. Fort Worth, Texas is Funky Town.
You know that.
So the Funky Town, won't you take me to? That's about Fort Worth.
I don't think so, but that is what they call Fort Worth.
Oh, I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that.
Oh, well, that is what they call Fort Worth. So,
Okay,
and that was like we would call it that. So this is not even new.
gotcha.
But we start the show off. We open the show with Triple H. He talks about the title. Now, remember this because there's going to be something about it later. He starts off with the new title, says it's going to be exclusive to Raw. And then we get our draft picks.
I thought he said that in SmackDown.
Well, he said it again on Raw.
Or actually, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he said it again. He pretty much said the same thing on Raw and SmackDown.
Gotcha.
So we get our first round of draft. It's Rhea Ripley to Raw, Charlotte to SmackDown, Seth freaking Rollins to Raw, Austin Theory to SmackDown. So the mid card titles have switched. The women's title champions have switched. But now Rhea is the SmackDown champion on Raw now. So you know they're gonna have to trade those titles like baseball cards.
Yeah, which will be interesting, I guess. Should be at least more pleasant than the Charlotte Becky Lynch one.
Yeah, I expect no shenanigan. But you know, you got people on the IWC, these content creators. They're all, well, what's gonna happen? They got the Raw Raw champion on SmackDown and SmackDown champion on Raw. how are they gonna get these titles switched? Like, have you never watched? Have you not watched the show in years? Because
I
every
mean,
year they do it the same way.
they could just give them to Adam Pearce and whoever the SmackDown GM is. Who is the SmackDown GM? Is it Adam Pearce?
Yeah.
That's lazy. Um. So yeah, so they could just give both of their belts to Adam Pearce, and then he can on SmackDown award what's her head her belt and what's her face her belt on Raw.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna do that. They're just gonna swap a rule. But that's okay. Whatever. We then move into the opening segment of the night, and that is when Paul Heyman comes out to the ring. Well, before he even gets to the ring, he steps by, he looks at the new title, admires it. He calls Triple H a smart man for making the new title, and then he goes to the ring. In the ring, he starts to tease that Roman Reigns is coming back this. Well, it will be now this week on SmackDown, but so the week after Backlash. So this coming SmackDown, Roman Reigns will be back, and he will address the Bloodline. He will address the new title. Fans immediately started booing. Paul Heyman says, "There's no way. Like, if you want to make that title relevant, there's no better person to put that title on than Roman Reigns. Think about it. Roman Reigns with 3 belts, carrying this title to the island of relevancy." So there was that tease, which I found funny.
I did too, and I appreciated the fan reaction. They're like, "No, please God."
Yeah, and I'm like, now I hope it happens. I didn't think I wanted it to happen, but now I want it to happen just for the chaos.
Yeah, they'd be dumb enough to do that too. Oh, gotta get Roman the belt.
Well, there's going to be an opportunity when we get to SmackDown. You shall see. As Heyman's doing his little promo, out comes Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has his little song singing. Yeah. Seth Rollins has his little song singing. He tells Paul Heyman that, or he teases that Roman Reigns never beat him. And basically, Roman Reigns is afraid of him. So they're kind of teasing Rollins versus Roman Reigns again. And he starts to count down. He says, how hard would it be for me to stomp you? Or how many seconds do you think it would take for me to stomp you? Would it be 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second? Over the PA, Solo Sikoa's music hits, and he comes out there to save Paul Heyman. And we ultimately get a match set up for the main event: Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa.
And you would think that that'd be something to get excited about, but for some reason, Rollins and Sokoa Joe didn't do it for me.
I was excited.
I think
Well, that's a little far. I wasn't excited, but I was interested.
Joe's a little overexposed at this point. Like he's everywhere.
He is, and I think I know why. That's a teaser in the business.
Yeah.
By the end of this stream, I'll tell you why I think he's so exposed.
Okay.
So after that segment, so again, we get the match set up for later main event. After that segment, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Damage Control for nothing. This wasn't for the titles or anything. This was just the match, just to get Liv Morgan on TV, I guess. And to everybody's surprise, mine especially, Damage Control actually wins this match. Now, it kind of smells like a Vince move here because I suspected that Damage Control won that match as a non-title match so that they can get a title match at some point.
So
This
was it EO Sky and Dakota?
this was actually Bailey and Dakota.
Okay.
So I figured that's why they did that. But if I'm not mistaken, Raquel and Liv are on Raw. So I don't know if they're gonna.
You could tell me they're on NXT, and I wouldn't challenge you.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Next up, we go to our draft round 2 segment. It was Queen Charmel and King Booker. They announced Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the tag team champions, to Raw. The Usos go to SmackDown. Judgment Day, all of Judgment Day goes to Raw. All of LWO goes to SmackDown. So there we go again with drafting whole teams.
Yeah.
Like there's 5 members of LWO and they all got drafted in one pick.
It's really lazy. And then they do stupid shit like, because didn't they just draft Ripley earlier as one pick?
Yeah.
So if you're going to draft the whole fucking Judgment Day, do you see what I'm saying? They're like, they wasted a pick. They could have just drafted Judgment Day. But instead they drafted Ripley. Then they wasted another pick to draft Judgment Day.
Well, it might be because Ripley was the champion. They wanted to keep her as a separate pick.
No, it's
like Solo
logic.
and Roman and Heyman got drafted, but the Usos didn't, and then they got drafted this week.
That doesn't make sense because Sokoa Joe's with them.
I know, but they got drafted separately. I don't know.
No, I don't buy that.
Well, I didn't put too much into it because I knew they were going to keep them together anyway. So whether if you draft them all separately or together, they were all going to end up on the same show.
Well, I just don't want my intelligence insulted.
Yeah, that's true. But after the draft segment, we go to...
Was that a UFO? What the fuck was that?
Oh, you heard that? It was a motorcycle.
Oh.
Someone's trying to be cool.
Sound like Independence Day over there.
Nope, just someone trying to be cool. And then they're going to fall. Anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to get a ticket. We'll just go there. Next up, we got Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Alpha Academy. This was actually a match I wanted to see more of because it lasted like 2 minutes. But they did good work in that 2 minutes. Ricochet and Strowman obviously win this. There was even a point where they teased Strowman throwing Ricochet again, and then because Alpha Academy's outside the ring, and Strowman was going to throw Ricochet outside of the ring, and they played up the botch from last week, and then Strowman's like, "I got you." So that was funny, but yeah, they win, and it was just like a 2-minute match. So
yeah, I got nothing.
After that, we go on to our next set of picks.
Actually, isn't it kind of getting old with them?
Who?
Ricochet and Strowman. Aren't we kind of done with them?
I was never on them, so I don't know. They still get a reaction, so there's that. I never really, they were just there for me.
Well,
I don't get invested in any of their matches.
two bums sodomizing each other under a bridge would get a reaction too, but that don't mean it's good.
I'm saying people enjoy it. So what? Who am I to say anything about it? As I don't care about it.
You
They
got the
do.
microphone.
Well,
You
so
got the microphone and they don't. So they'll listen to every goddamn word you have to say.
see, now that guy who was speeding probably. That guy who was speeding is probably getting got.
I don't know. They're just a little grating. I don't like how like they incorporate their fuck ups into their shit because it's corny. I just don't like Ricochet
There we go.
or
There's another.
Strowman.
Golly. Sounds like there's lots going on out there. If you hear those sirens.
Yep. If I heard the rocket ship,
Well,
certainly.
there's a side storyline if you're listening to the podcast. We had the speeding motorcycle. Now there's two cup cars. We're gonna keep you posted on that.
Go get them.
So we got after that we got Adam Pierce. I wrote down Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels and Adam Pierce. They go out for the next round of picks. Important thing that I skipped over. Before this whole thing happened, Adam Pierce, he individually went up to Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. He was telling them how this was a big night. This is a draft night. It's very important. If they can please keep the peace.
And each one of them laughed at him.
Yes.
Laughed right in his face. Adam Pierce has absolutely no authority.
Yeah. So the reason that's important is because they go out to do the next round of picks. Before they make a pick, you got Brock Lesnar's music plays. He goes out to the ring. He first of all, he's wearing like that coat again and a black cowboy hat.
It's a straw hat.
Yeah, looking intimidating as hell. I was like, man, can you imagine running into him in an alley with that hat and the just I know if it were me, I was just like, I'm fucked.
I thought it looked goofy personally.
Oh, well.
I mean, I still wouldn't want to, goofy or not, I don't want to run into him in a dark alley. But just the coat and I think it's because I know like he's just wearing it for TV. Like that, like you're not going to see Brock Lesnar just wearing a black coat and a black hat down Main Street.
Well, apparently he is a country boy.
No, he's not.
Okay.
I know him
I'll let you challenge that. So, yeah, Brock Lesnar, he comes out in his all black attire, and he says to the Fort Worth crowd. Now, Fort Worth is for the people who don't know, Fort Worth is in Texas. Texas is a big cowboy state. There's a lot of horses and cows, farmers, ranchers, all that stuff. Cowboy boots, cowboy hat, all of it. So you got Brock Lesnar. He comes out and he says, "How does it feel to see the only real cowboy?" So he insults the crowd, calling them fake cowboys. He's the only real cowboy in Texas, or in Fort Worth mainly.
And the best part is he lives in Canada.
Is he in Canada? I thought it was in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, or Nova, one of them.
That's where it is, Saskatchewan.
For some reason, Nova Scotia is in my head.
No, it's Saskatchewan.
Whatever. It's Canada. Who cares?
Yeah, so you get Adam Pierce. He runs out there. He says, "I can't let this happen. This is too much of an important night." He sends out security.
Oh my God, that's security.
A lot of security this time.
They're
And
worthless. They're all pretending to. I don't know, man. Just the faces that they made and it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
it's
And
not
they're
worth
all
it for them to get in the ring.
and that too. And they're all just pointing and waving their arms. It's just I don't know. It was all goofy.
Yeah, and before they could actually do something, get attacked, before they can all get beat up by Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes comes out from behind. He comes from the crowd. He hits Brock Lesnar, lays him out with one hit, uh, and then the security jump in, separate everybody. Brock Lesnar leaves the ring. He's bloodied from the hit, so I guess he really got hit, and that's
Well, he
pretty
had a
much,
little. He had a little scrape.
yeah, on his nose.
Well, I just saw it on his cheek, but either way, he seems to be like. What's that disease that you get one little nick and you can't stop bleeding?
Oh, I don't know.
Because he like bleeds for no reason.
He's making it too real.
Yeah.
Um, After he gets escorted, Shawn Michaels, he's still on the ramp, or I'm sorry, he's still on stage. He says, I guess, or he announces the first pick for Raw, which is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the the women's tag team champions. I said that earlier. And he's like, the next pick, I guess is going to be done by me. Gets a pop from the crowd. He announces Asuka to SmackDown. The New Day go back to Raw. And the Brawling Brutes stay on SmackDown.
Well, first of all, Shawn Michaels was useless. That segment with Brock, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Like he was, it seemed like he was trying to be funny. Like you got the Beast coming out, and he's just like making these weird muggy faces in front of the camera. He just looked retarded.
I didn't
And
even pay attention.
I did because he's like bottom lower half of the screen. He's right there. He's just. It looked like he farted.
He might have.
Like oh,
That's what I'm
go,
saying. Oh, he was still. I guess he was still on the stage because I didn't even pay attention.
yeah, he was. And then that segment or that part where Cody just jumped Brock from behind. That's so old school. It reminds me of Austin.
Yeah, everybody's thinking he's coming out from the entrance, and then boom, out of nowhere. So
But
we still get the build for them.
I'm surprised Liv Morgan didn't negotiate herself a free agent deal since she's so important.
Well, she's tag team champion. She's got to be with a partner. Um,
Did Isla Dawn and Alba Fire they won, right? Their title match.
they did.
So they're bringing their titles to SmackDown
I
or
guess
whatever.
so.
Do you think they're going to jump right into Liv Morgan and Raquel no definition?
Uh, I mean that gives them an in. Hey, we're tag team champions too. There can only be one. But the tag team champions are on Raw. So there's that. They haven't said anything about it being a floating championship either, which it is, or it should be. That's what it
What?
was
Yeah,
before.
I was going to say, well, wouldn't it be because there's only one set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they have to be floating.
Yeah, so we shall see what happens there. Maybe a unification. I mean, ultimately, you need the titles to go back to NXT
Of
if
course.
they're gonna do anything with them. Um, they also drafted Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, which I would say is the only legitimate tag team that was left on NXT. So really, the tag team division there, unless they just start, and they probably will, just start throwing teams together. They
When
don't
did
have a division anymore.
Pretty Deadly get drafted?
I think towards the end.
Oh, I was gonna say they're probably the legit team, aren't they?
Well, I mean, in the women's division.
Oh,
Yeah, they get drafted towards the end.
well, what about Jigglypuff and that other girl?
Who?
The
She's teamed with so many different people.
shit, they had a three-way match with some girl. Okay. Oh fuck, never mind. Move on.
We'll just all right. um, we get next segments with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle. Um, Matt Riddle just says some
A
rant.
bunch of
I didn't even
shit.
understand it. Like I literally didn't understand what he said. So
He had his little squinty eyes and his stupid hat all sideways and his stupid neon nail polish and his
oh
stupid
come
little
on,
what?
that was part of my notes. I said he chose the the green nail polish tonight. That's that's the takeaway from what he was saying.
Yeah, yeah. How could you not notice that right off the bat? If I wonder if you turn all the lights off, if his nails would glow in the dark.
Probably.
And he's got the unnecessarily short. Why are you wearing unnecessarily short shorts just in everyday attire? Why are you just walking around conversing in short shorts?
I don't know, but they're really short.
They are. Looks like a stripper. And then yeah, they Owens and Zayn just basically walk away. They're like, okay.
Yeah. And it leads to a Riddle and Jimmy Uso match 1-on-1. Riddle wins because it's just one of the Usos. During the match, Jay, so there's no solo out there because he had the main event, so they're playing to that. Um, Jay, he gets thrown out with some foolery. You had a moment where Sami Zayn, he hits the floor with a chair and then throws the chair to Jay Uso on the outside. Kevin Owens, he falls down like he got hit. The ref turns around. He sees Jay holding the chair. Owens on the ground, throws him out. So now we have those three out there and Jimmy out there by himself. Ultimately leads to Matt Riddle getting the win.
So wait. It's Jay Uso versus Matt Riddle, right?
Jimmy Uso.
Oh, okay. So Jimmy Uso and Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
So Jay Uso has a chair, or he's they do the Eddie Guerrero thing with Jay Uso.
Yeah, on the outside.
Okay. So how does that lead to a Riddle win?
Because Jay got thrown out, so Jimmy didn't have any backup.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that led to a Riddle win.
Why would the referee give a fuck if he's hitting the people on the outside?
I don't know. Keep the peace.
Okay.
After that, we get the next set of announcements. This one done by Rob Van Dam, who also did SmackDown, and Easy E, Eric Bischoff. They announced Trish Stratus to Raw. I don't know why. Karrion Kross to SmackDown, Shayna and Ronda Rousey to Raw, and LA Knight to SmackDown.
I forgot Ronda Rousey was still a thing.
I did too. I didn't know if she was hurt or.
She's hurt. I don't know how she's hurt, but she's injured, which is why they didn't do anything at WrestleMania.
Yeah. But she is on Raw. So is Becky. So maybe they go back there. After that, we get a Miz TV segment. And I just want to note that at that very moment, there was 1 minute and 34 seconds left in the Boston versus 76ers playoff game. Boston was leading 111 to 107. So it was a pretty close contested match at that point. 76ers ended up winning that. So they took game one. And this is what they put up against. They put Miz TV up against that. So there you go.
Is Brad Stevens still with Boston?
No.
No.
Or maybe he is. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think they got someone new.
Gotcha.
Miz's guest for Miz TV was Shinsuke Nakamura. They did some stuff. Shinsuke, he started saying something in Japanese and then translated to English. Turns out he was saying that Miz has tiny balls in Japanese. And Kinshasa. There we go. Kinshasa to the Miz, and that's how that segment ends. So that means we're probably getting the Miz versus Shinsuke next week, because that's how that works. Omos, he was up next. He had a one-on-one match against the mighty Anthony Atlantis,
who,
aka a local jobber, and Omos wins in the fashion of a squash match. Road Dogg and Molly Holly are next for the draft picks. They pick Rico and Braun Strowman to Raw. Shotzi Blackheart to SmackDown. Why she was picked, I don't know. Bronson Reed to Raw, and Pretty Deadly goes to SmackDown. The Judgment Day goes out there next. I don't know what was said here. I'll go ahead and say that. Pretty much the whole segment was in Spanish because they're playing it. They're getting ready for.
Because Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So literally the whole thing was probably, or I'll say 95% of the thing was in Spanish. And the only thing that was worth noting here was Dominique is continuing to get over and over as a heel. Every time he put the mic up to his mouth, he was getting booed louder and louder. He's getting booed so loud that he was having to scream his promo. And even then, they were still booing over his screaming. So that's how loud it was. So he's by far getting probably the best heel reaction in the business right now. So that's good for him. And like I said, I don't know what was said here, but LWO and Rey Mysterio, they came out saying stuff in Spanish, and they brawled. What am I supposed to review here? It was all in Spanish.
What baffles me is they had their match, or they being Rey Mysterio and Dominique, they have their match at WrestleMania, and then now it seems like their feud is starting. Instead of
Yeah.
like instead of WrestleMania being the conclusion, now Ray's just whooping his ass.
Well, I told you if this is likely the War Games match. So,
If
but
it is.
they're on different shows, so this technically should be the last time that we see this for a while. Should be an end of the feud for, or at least a cool off to the feud. But we did have Judgment Day versus LWO. Um, Judgment Day wins. I forgot who the participants were, but it doesn't really matter. And
It
then
does not.
finally, getting towards the end here, we get the Cody segment. He talks about how he has to beat Brock Lesnar to finish the story.
And he says if he doesn't win, it's back to the line, or it's back to the back of the line, and he ain't doing that. He ain't going
Yeah.
back to prison.
Yeah, so he's got to beat Brock Lesnar, and we'll see in a minute if he does or not. JBL, Teddy Long, they come out for the last round of the picks. Alpha Academy goes to Raw. Rick Boogs goes to SmackDown, and Katana Chance, Casey Carter go to Raw. That's the other NXT tag, the legitimate tag team in the women's division. And then final pick to SmackDown, Cameron Grimes, and he's going to take SmackDown to the moon.
But he's got to get past Baron Corbin first.
Right.
Which he's kind of on the Ronda Rousey level where it's like, oh yeah, he's still here.
Oh, Baron Corbin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, we get to our main event. Solo Sikoa versus Seth Rollins. This match ends in a DQ because neither guy could really lose. But it was a decent match for what it was. But Seth Rollins, he pretty much brings everybody to a good match. So
I started watching it, but then like they started doing the O's, and I couldn't stomach it. I didn't have it in me.
Well, there you go. It ended in a DQ.
Especially
moving over.
I couldn't get past the Karrion Kross thing. Him and his little I want to TikTok, and then he loses. Karrion Kross.
I know. What does he have to do with that?
I'm saying that after his match with Shinsuke.
I know. Why aren't we talking about Kross?
I'm saying because of his match that took me out of everything. So then by the time I got to the Cody match, or not the Cody match, but the Sikoa Joe and Seth Rollins match.
Oh, because you watched it out of order.
Right.
I thought you were saying because of what happened on Friday. On Monday, I was.
Oh, was that on SmackDown?
The Karrion Kross match? Yes.
So Karrion Kross and the Viking Raiders were on SmackDown?
Yes.
Oh, my notes are fucked up. Shit.
Well, we can move on to SmackDown because we were done with Raw.
Yeah.
SmackDown. We start the show. First of all, they're in Puerto Rico.
I thought I completely missed you talking about this match.
Oh.
So I'm like, well, I gotta get my shit in.
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm like, what are you talking about? SmackDown. We go to Puerto Rico. This is basically a pre-show for Backlash. LWO starts the show again. We got a whole entire promo in Spanish, so didn't know
Oh
what
my
was said
god,
here.
100% in Spanish. Did you know they were in Puerto Rico? I couldn't tell.
Well, the Spanish speaking gave it away there,
Well, that and the
but
fact
that
that
also happened on Raw.
they said Puerto Rico 100 billion gajillion times.
Oh yeah, in every segment they had to show you how beautiful it was there.
Yeah, I hate Puerto Rico now.
I don't know. Did you see? Did you happen to see the pre-show?
Just a little bit of it. Probably
Well,
not what
they did a
you're probably not what you're gonna talk about.
they did a segment where Baron, no, what's his name?
Wade
Wade
Barrett,
Barrett.
he was
He
on the
was walking
beach,
on the beach, and
and they all kept
this,
saying "beautiful people."
yeah, and then the lady walked by
Yeah, there's
with
beautiful
her
people. Like, come on, just
with her Christmas hams of ass cheeks,
yeah,
looked like two cooked Christmas hams
yeah. That was quite
with
nice.
Dr. Pepper glaze on the top of them. I said, man, maybe I want my future ex-wife to be Puerto Rican. If if that's the quality.
Yeah, those Latin women. Oh, it's kind of a mixed bag because like they're either really attractive or they look like troll creatures. There's
Yeah,
there's no in between.
yeah. It's a 50-50 shot.
Right. Got hair where there's not supposed to be hair.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw this chick. Uh, she's. I was at the grocery store, and she had like hair coming out of her shirt from the back. Her back
Ugh.
hair was so. I don't know. She looked like. Uh, I don't know, George the Animal still.
Are you sure she wasn't an idiot and like maybe tucked her ponytail in her shirt?
It could have been.
Because I've noticed some of the girls that just say fuck it, they don't pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah, it could have very well been.
Mm.
Anyway, SmackDown. So yeah, they do that promo. It's all in Spanish. But the gist of it is they set up a mixed tag match. Dom and Rhea will face Ray and Zelina in the main event. Next, for our first actual match of SmackDown, we get the Good Brothers versus the Viking Raiders with Valhalla.
Now this is last week. The OC came back. OC would be the group that the Good Brothers are a part of. And when they came back, the Viking Raiders with the deer decided to start some shit with the OC. And the OC promptly beat down the Viking Raiders. So now they're having a match. And wouldn't you know it, the Viking Raiders and the deer lost. Again.
Again. They constantly pick fights to lose.
It's kind of ridiculous at this point.
That's the running joke on our channel. Oh, they're picking who they're going to lose against next.
We're going to be surprised when they actually win a match.
Yeah. I forget where they're going. Are they going to? Oh, I didn't even go over the supplemental picks. I could do that after this. But I forgot what show they ended on. I think they're going to Raw. So
it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Oh yeah, they got drafted on SmackDown. They're going to Raw, but they got new feuds to pick a fight with and lose. But they could start getting some wins, and Mi Chen, she needs to. Why does she keep like manhandling Valhalla? What's going on here? Valhalla should be crushing her. I
Valhalla
mean,
should be
she
levitating
communicates.
her and throwing her
Yes, she communicates.
with the
Only the
gods.
gods can communicate to Valhalla. And you got Michin over there kicking her ass. Like, what? This doesn't make sense.
She's been nothing ever since that little blonde Latin girl super kicked her.
Zelina Vega?
Yeah, her.
Well, there you go. They need to treat Valhalla right.
They did at first. When they first came in, they jumped hit row, and she tossed what's Zelina Vega up in the air and headbutted her. That was cool. And then, like the next time you see him, Hit Row gets the retribution, and you see Vega just super kick Valhalla, and that was it.
Yep. No more mythical. No
No,
more communicating with the gods.
because you can't think about it. Like, what if, what if Leonidas just headbutted Xerxes right off the bat, or just bitch
Yeah.
slapped him? Like, come here, Xerxes.
Yeah, I don't know. They could turn it around, I guess.
No, they're
But
dead
the Viking Raiders, they lose via the
again
Magic Killer again
to the OC,
to the OC.
which is like it's like the if Baron Corbin was a team, that'd be the OC.
Now wait a minute. The OC, I think they're going to be treated as a big deal on SmackDown. First of all, they got Pyro. Did you notice that? They got Pyro. And second, you could say AJ Styles could be another person to lose to Roman Reigns because he's not going to beat him. But he can be another person to lose to Roman Reigns.
I thought they already did that.
I don't think it was this run.
Okay.
I think they have faced each other before, but I don't think it was in this run.
I could have sworn they did. I guess it don't matter. It's not like anybody at this point would pretty much be who he's fought.
Yeah.
Unless I want to give Dolph Ziggler a shot. Oh, how about Karrion Kross? TikTok, Roman. He's got a shot.
Speaking of Karrion Kross, he's up next.
TikTok.
Yeah, he talked about how he's gonna take something from Shinsuke.
Just like
How he
he's
takes
taking something from everybody.
yes, he's justifying his losses by saying I've taken a piece from them.
Yeah. They
So
haven't been
even
the
though-
same after beating me.
Yeah, so even though you see me on the ground losing, they're changed.
Even though the people I've faced have gone on to bigger and better things after beating me, I've been the real victor. TikTok.
Yeah, even though what really matters is you see me on the ground looking up at the lights. I'm a jobber, but those people I took, or except for Madcap, he beat Madcap. That's the only one he won.
Yeah, he humiliated Madcap. That says a lot about Madcap.
Yeah.
He keeps getting cucked in front of Emma.
Well, we'll see what they do with him.
Bobby
After the
Lashley will come out. He'll just take Emma by the hand and just all the while making eye contact with Madcap until Madcap just looks down.
Yep, he's just gonna have to look down.
And then they walk away wordlessly. And Emma kind of looks at Madcap in shock, like, are you gonna do something? But then like you can kind of see that she's resigned to her fate, to getting a tree trunk. And all the while, Bobby Lashley would have that emotionless face on it. while there's sweat dripping down his brow and he's grunting.
Golly. And that's what's gonna yep, that's what's gonna happen to him. We go to a segment. We got the Usos, Matt Riddle, recap of all that.
And Scarlett she wasn't even impressive.
Oh, we ain't got to the match yet.
Oh, god damn it.
That's later. That was just the talking segment.
Sorry, we're talking about people that suck. TikTok.
Now we get the Usos. They're talking to Solo Sikoa backstage. The Usos, I forgot what they were saying, but they were talking to Solo. Solo very stoically finally says words. He basically says that he will handle his business at Backlash, and they better handle theirs. As he's wrapping his thumb. Next up, we get Imperium, as Samantha Irvin says, with no Gunther because he was away at his honeymoon.
That's right, ladies. Gunther is off the market, so put your money away for those plane tickets. Okay. Congratulations to Gunther for his marriage to his very lovely wife.
Yes. So yeah, he was off the show for that reason. So we have Imperium versus the Street Profits. This match lasted like 2 to 3 minutes. Street Profits win. I was actually disappointed. I thought this was going to be a longer match. And I was actually, just like the Alpha Academy match, I was actually kind of excited because I know both of these teams can go. And then they only got 3 minutes.
Well, less of Montez Ford is good in my book.
I don't know. I think they could have put on an entertaining match.
Maybe, but then there's always the chance that they'll give him the microphone. Or he'll do his little suck it.
Yeah, over the top thing.
Or he'll have his goddamn solo cup.
What else?
What?
That's all of him. So what else is there?
How is Belair gonna have issues taking out her hoops, but Montez Ford don't have issues coming out with a solo cup in a basketball jersey?
They're different persons, people.
Okay.
She doesn't want to be ghetto,
but she kind of is.
Which is, first of all, isn't that a little racist to just immediately say, "Oh," because we're referring to this whole lawsuit that Vince McMahon got put under for being racist. And I heard this report. It didn't even sound like Vince was involved in any of this. It was like the writers. So I don't know how he's getting sued for it.
Right.
I don't know, because he was the boss, I guess. But
because it's Vince McMahon.
And there was also notes that's already been dropped. So there's that.
Okay. Because it was stupid.
Yeah. So it was kind of racist to assume that taking off the hoops was racist. Like,
I just don't.
Anybody can take off hoops. Why does it have to be a black person that's doing that?
Well,
black ghetto chick.
No, I will say that 9 times out of 10, you're gonna hear a black woman say, "Oh, I'm gonna take off my hoops. Let me take off my shoes." Like black women, they get prepared to fight. If you see white women get into a fight, like they just talk and you know they don't ever
Full
expect
hair.
things to go go to that next level. But as black women are talking, they're getting prepared. They're taking off the things that would hurt them, leaving on the things that would hurt their opponents. It's kind of like a cat just stalking.
And they always do it away. Like I see white people and they're doing their fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're like getting undressed in front of the person.
Right.
Like, come on. If I was gonna fight you and you're over here taking your clothes off, I'm gonna attack you while you're doing that. Like, I'm gonna wait for your pants to be, if you're taking your pants off, I'm gonna wait for them to be like at your ankle, but before you get your feet out. So now your your feet are stuck and you can't move them. Or if you're
I
taking
don't
your
know.
shirt off, wait till you get it over your head.
I've seen some brothers take off their shirts.
I know, but that's the point you should be attacking when they're taking their shirt off. Like as soon as they're blinded by their shirt, you should be on them.
When I see white dudes fight, they're always like, "Oh, do you want to go there? Do you really want to go?" Like they have to like those guys in earmuffs with the wands directing plane traffic. They need those guys to initiate the fight.
Yeah, there's always got to be a throw the first punch. Go ahead.
Yeah. You want to go? So you want to go? So you're telling me you want to go right now? Because we'll go. We'll go if you want to go right now. So
Yeah,
you
hit
want to go?
first.
Yeah, hit me first. Just hit me. Hit me first. I promise you won't hit me again.
Hit me to confirm that the fight started. And if you're real, then that one punch is going to be enough.
Now, one or two things will happen. He'll either start swinging wildly, or he'll just like kind of back off, like, "Oh, I can't believe you hit me.
Yeah.
Really? Over that? Can't believe you hit me over me saying that, asking you to hit me."
Yeah, I was calling you all kinds of names and saying you wouldn't hit me, and then you did. I
But
just can't
anyway,
believe you.
I don't see why it's a big deal to, even if it is like a black thing, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, why is it like a bad thing to point out funny shit?
And she's wearing the hoops.
She is.
Obviously, like, obviously, if she's going to get in the fight, and she hadn't said, let me take my hoops off, but she's actually taken her hoops off in NXT.
There you go.
So anyway, I guess
She is.
she's just like, because she's pretty much John Cena now. So
Yeah.
so she's gotten enough pull to just like, nuh-uh. I ain't doing that.
Well, whatever. I just
We
think
get
that's a dumb fucking thing to complain about.
probably. I don't know.
But although I don't know how it was approached. Like, "Hey, Shaniqua, who are you talking about?" "Oh, yeah, Bianca. Sorry." Like if it started like that, yeah, I could see. Or it has like in the script it says, "Okay," and then Monique says, and then Bianca's like, "Who the hell's Monique?" "Oh, that's you." I am Monique.
I know. It's just helping me write this segment.
That's the only way I can identify you.
It helps me visualize what I'm going for here.
Yeah, you see, the other one was Monique too. What other one? You know, the one that left. All that over hoops.
Yeah. But our next segment, we go into Cody Rhodes. Same old, same old.
Yeah, he's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
He has to
He gets
win.
the O.
If he doesn't win, it's over.
Yeah, finish the story.
Yeah.
While we're on SmackDown, I guess we can go ahead and talk about what this whole uh, title thing is going to be. So, and this was announced on the press conference. So it was actually announced like the day before. But we have the title picture details. So on Raw this week, there's going to be two triple threat matches. The winners of each triple threat match will face each other um, in the main event of Raw. That winner goes on as the first half of the title match in for Night of Champions. The exact same thing happens on SmackDown. There's going to be two triple threat matches. The winner of each triple
Wait. I thought this thing was a Raw title.
it is.
So how is SmackDown involved?
Exactly. And thus in lies the problem that everybody has now, obviously.
Yeah, like right off the bat, they're not even. They just had the draft.
They
And
just
then
had the draft and they just made these rules that it was going to be a Raw title and already involving SmackDown.
so you're gonna have SmackDown people competing in this tournament, right?
Yep.
Is that where we're getting at?
Yeah, so SmackDown, they're going to have two triple threat matches. The winners of the triple threat match go to the main event. The winner of that main event is the other half of the Night of Champions title match. So it'll essentially be one Raw superstar and one SmackDown superstar. The winner takes the title. You can look at that in multiple ways. Either that like obviously tells you who's winning because it's a Raw title,
Mhm.
or whoever wins, that's the SmackDown person wins it, and then they get drafted to Raw, or get sent to Raw because now they're the Raw champion.
Well, it doesn't really matter because apparently they just go to whatever show they're
Yes,
needed on.
but enter. I did say earlier. I think there's a reason behind all this solo push.
You think
I kind
Samoa
of got
Joe's
the
gonna?
idea he's going to be in the finals. He's
Do you
going to
think it's gonna
win.
be him and Cody?
It might be him and Cody. It's either going to be him and Cody or him and Seth.
No, I bet it's him and Cody.
So yeah, I think that's where they're going. Solo's going to win one. He's going to be in the triple threat match. He's going to, and because also Roman is coming back this week.
Mm-hmm.
So Solo, he's probably going to be, because Roman, I don't know if he's going to enter himself into one of the triple threat matches, which I don't see, because why would Roman wrestle on SmackDown? So you're gonna have he's gonna put Solo in the triple threat. Solo wins, goes to the main event. He wins that, and then he's in Saudi as the person who represents SmackDown for the title versus Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, That's your title match.
Yeah, I can see that. That's so stupid.
Because Cody's winning.
Well, that and the fact that the SmackDown people are involved. It's a Raw title. Why are SmackDown people getting an opportunity for it? Are Raw people going to get an opportunity to fight Roman?
Probably at some point.
So, like, I don't know, does the runner up on the Raw triple threat match, do they get to face Roman at Night of Champions?
I don't know where they're going with Night of Champions. I mean, they kind of hinted that Seth Rollins, they're going to run that back. So I'm thinking
Ugh.
maybe, and obviously, whoever this is, they're not beating Roman. Let's keep that in
Right.
mind.
Of course.
So I think what's going to happen is Rollins is going to be in one of the triple threats. Cody's going to be in the other. Um, they're going to each win. That goes to the main event of Monday Night Raw. And then maybe we have some kind of interference. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say maybe we have some interference from the bloodline that costs Rollins the title. But this is supposed to be the start of the brand split, so we shouldn't be seeing SmackDown participants on Raw. So then that doesn't make sense.
Maybe Omos
I don't know.
gets involved.
Omos, or maybe, I mean, it could be Seth Rollins who gets to the finals. Maybe Brock Lesnar comes out and attacks Cody again. Cost him, maybe he cost him the tournament. Or maybe Cody Rhodes is supposed to be in the triple threat. Brock Lesnar attacks him. It takes him out of the tournament. And then we get somebody who's replacing him. Now that leaves Seth Rollins as your guy, and then he goes to the finals against Solo. And then we have the tie-in of Solo, or the Bloodline, and Seth Rollins. I don't know where they go, but it seems like a 50-50 of if it's going to be Rollins or Cody Rhodes. But yes, I do think there's a good chance Solo makes it to the finals as on SmackDown side.
Well, if they're gonna do the thing where Cody wins the Royal Rumble again, they're basically gonna do last year's WrestleMania, which they would because they're lazy.
Run it back.
Yeah, like you remember John Cena and The Rock, once in a lifetime match that they did the exact same thing the year later.
Not only that, they announced it the very next night.
Yeah, so
I couldn't believe that they did that. Oh, we're gonna do a rematch next year. Like what?
right.
Are you already saying this?
I did like the idea of the whole scheduling something a year out.
Yeah, to give us a whole year to look forward to it.
Uh-huh.
But you never. I was like, and they, The Rock went away, so you didn't have weekly television to write for it.
Right.
I guess it did work out in their favor.
And then like the closer it came, they did their promos but then yeah, when they scheduled it again, that was just like a slap in the face. Especially because they're like, it's once in a lifetime. If you don't get this WrestleMania, you'll never see this match ever because we'll never do replays.
Well, my biggest thing was the first match. Like, if it was only a one match thing, one off, it was a bigger thing of who won or lost. But then when they did the rematch, then you knew the other person was going to get that win.
Right.
So John Cena was going to get his win.
Of course.
Or was it Rock? I don't know who won the first one. But they
The
went
Rock
50-50, so
The Rock won the first one, Cena won the second one.
yeah.
Because it was a big shock when The Rock won.
Until you realize that they were going to do it again.
Right. Like,
Maybe that's
oh,
what's
that's
happening
why.
here. Yeah, maybe that's what's happening here. Roman won because they're going to do it again.
Well, then it would
But
make sense if that's the case, though. If they're going for the him winning the Royal Rumble again, it would make sense for him to not win this title.
I don't think they do. They need to do the Royal Rumble again. I know that's what's rumored,
Hmm.
but I don't think we need to do that. I think you let Cody win this title. Let him do a run with the title, and then you can get to a point where, I mean, you could even do. I don't know. You get to a point where he's run his course with that title, and then he goes after Roman. Like it gives him something to do for the rest of the year, and then around the Royal Rumble time, he can drop the title, maybe to whoever wins Money in the Bank or something. And then, oh, speaking of which, I want to tell you something else here because more news. Um, Now this one's rumored though, but you do that, you get to the Royal Rumble time, and now he can drop the title and then go after Roman. Um, this the part that I want to say, and this is rumored, so it's not anything sketched in stone yet. But the rumor is they're going back to brand specific pay per views
Yep.
outside of the big five.
That's something to look forward to.
Yes, and I actually think that's a good idea.
Really?
Yes,
Why?
uh, because it gives. I don't know. It just gives like it. First of all, it makes the big five bigger shows, which I'm all in favor for because if we're not always seeing every superstar on every show, then when they are on the big shows, it feels like, oh, this is fresh now. That's one. And then two, now you can have more than one storyline per show, and it gives everybody else something to do. Like you get more people on pay-per-views.
I guess, but they've just seemed to use the same 10 guys, regardless of what show it is. And if you do brand specific pay per views, you're going to take those 10 guys and split it in half. Yeah, maybe you'll get someone fresh like a Bronson Reed or whatever, but for the most part, it's going to be just the same shit.
What, the same five guys?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what they've been doing.
Well, it's going to force them to do more than that. You need
They
more than
won't
five
though. They're
guys.
fucking lazy.
Well, I'm saying you have to have more than five people to build out the pay-per-view. You
No,
have to.
they'll do something. They'll do something.
You can't. You physically can't fill out a pay-per-view with five people.
Yeah, you can. They'll have people do 2 matches.
Okay, that's gonna be good for them.
Or they'll have the people that aren't. They'll have SmackDown people on the Raw pay per view. They won't even address it.
Well, they're saying no, no, no. They're saying this is the brands are going to be split unless it's like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, the Big Five.
They
Royal
also said
Rumble.
this new belt is for Raw,
Well,
and
it will end up being Raw, and that's why. In conclusion, that's why Cody Rhodes will be winning this title is because if you're building a standalone pay per view, Cody Rhodes is your second biggest person on the roster, So now you need him to be the headliner of the pay-per-view that is not headlined by Roman Reigns.
Well, there's only one headliner. His name's Gunther.
Well, he's going to have to be headlining because he's going to have to fill out the shows.
Yeah, he needs to throw away that scrap metal that he's become too good for. He needs a real belt.
Well, it should be interesting where they go with all that.
Mm-hmm. Now I read somewhere that they're basically wrapping up all of Vince's old storylines, and I guess things are going to start getting more geared to where Triple H wants to go, like come SummerSlam.
I hope so.
Yeah, because it's really slow and nonsensical right now.
It is. But I will say, doing this show weekly, by the way, here's your weekly reminder to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, leave a like and comment something below, just the word something. But since we've done this show, I will say that's made it more interesting week to week, especially on the pay per views. Like, oh, is what we've been saying on the show actually going to happen? Or, by the way, impeccable track record we have.
Well, you do.
Oh, I went 100% tonight, so. But I don't know what I'm talking about. So says, oh
Me.
man, damn it. No, I had there was going to be a shtick for that.
Oh.
Anyway, I was going to write down, I had her username and I can't find it.
Oh, well.
A username of someone who said I didn't know what I was talking about, so I can say, well, but I mean, I went 100%. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's finish out SmackDown here. So we got the Cody segment. We got Riddle. He's said some more stuff. This time, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn didn't really say anything, and they simply said, I mean, there's nothing else to really say. And that's how that segment ended. Karrion Kross versus Shinsuke. Shinsuke wins off of Kinshasa. Telling you,
TikTok.
they're making TikTok.
TikTok.
Telling you, he's a big deal. Shinsuke. He's got that rock star entrance. He just feels like a big deal again.
Is he Raw?
He's Raw. Yes.
Okay, so they're probably. Do you think they're just kind of building him up a little bit to get into the triple threat match?
No, I think he's going after the Intercontinental title.
Oh, so he's going to be a victim.
No, he's not. I think he's going to take the Intercontinental title.
He better not.
It's either going to be him. Now get this match. It's either going to be him or it's going to be Bronson Reed. Get that match. You're talking about some heavy meat throwing. Gunther versus Bronson Reed.
Well, Bronson Reed can't beat Austin Theory. On.
But you better. Well, he didn't. I mean, he could beat 1-on-1. He could beat him.
Mm-mm.
You saw the what happened.
I did.
And if it was 1-on-1, Theory didn't stand a chance.
I don't know.
And yeah, so him and Gunther, this is going to be. Put your seatbelt on when that match happens. This is going to be hard hitting. Gunther's going to get put through the mat, tsunami style. They're going to have
to. Gunther would powerbomb that Aussie right out of the ring.
I want to see him. Speaking of tsunami, I want to see him like tsunami someone, and they do the ring break spot. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like He tsunamis them so hard the ring collapses, like Big Show getting suplexed by Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I would like to see that, but like remember when he did the Vader bomb um,
Hmm.
outside of the ring? So
Yeah,
he
and
breaks
Bobby
the ring
Lashley
off of that.
fell.
Yeah.
He fell like a stack of potatoes. Like there was no resistance to him falling. I mean, but he just like went straight down.
Yeah. It was,
Like usually they catch him a little bit as they fall. Nope, he just went straight down.
well, in fairness, he was one armed. There's nothing you can do to
Yeah, it's
that
too
big
much
of a
mass.
man. Yeah. All you can do is hope for the best.
Well, to finish out SmackDown, it was Judgment Day versus Ray and Zelina. Um, I didn't write down who won this match, but not that it matters. Post match. Oh, was who? Yeah, I don't know who won.
Don't look at me. I skipped it.
Anyway, post match, Judgment Day. Oh, it was DQ again.
Oh
Judgment
no no
Day.
no! Didn't Ray pin? Yeah, Ray pinned Dominique.
Oh yeah, off the roll up.
Yeah.
And then Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. They came out to attack Ray. Out comes Bad Bunny to tease Backlash. But we're not going to go into it because we're about to review Backlash, so it's not necessary. And we open the show on Backlash with Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship.
And the crowd loved EO.
Yeah, I believe this match as a whole was a coming out party for Io. I
This
mean,
was
we were already on her game, but
right.
I think the mainstream now sees what she's about.
She was fantastic, and I was expecting it to be kind of like the Oscar match where Belair just steamrolled her. But this was actually this was a great match. She got a lot of shit in.
Yes, she
And
did. She got her moves in. Um, they were off at some points,
a little bit, yeah.
but
But
yeah, for
it's
the most part,
Bianca's fault.
yeah, there's like a part where you can see Io telling her to do do it.
Right. She's probably
Um,
asking her to take her hoops out.
in in Japanese.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the hoops out.
And she says, "All right, well, you're gonna be racist. I can say something racist,
How about those chopsticks? Yeah.
or I'm surprised you can see me with those eyes."
Oh yeah, that was a good one. How'd you drive? How'd you drive here?
And then there's a point in the match where they're both just standing and talking to each other. They're just throwing racial slurs at each other.
uh, it was nice to see that Bailey and Dakota Kai weren't anywhere to be seen at first.
They weren't.
I think that was a big part of it. Like you could just let Io and Bianca just kind of breathe on their own.
Yeah, and I believe they got like 18 minutes for this match too, so they got plenty of time to work.
Yeah, it was forever, but it was one of those rare women's matches where it's like it was fun to watch.
It was. Bianca it was getting booed during this
Oh
match.
man, she was getting booed
Io
quite a
was
bit.
getting cheered. Now after the match, they ended up cheering Bianca after
Yeah.
she won. Um, towards the end of this match, we have Bailey. Bailey and Dakota Kai. They come out. Uh, I don't know if you caught it, but you had Dakota Kai. She was begging Bailey not to go out there, but Bailey still went out there. So they're still playing the whole Bailey is holding EO back thing.
I didn't see Kai trying to stop Becky. I was too disappointed that they were coming out. Because like it was a great match up until that point, and then I knew it was just going to be fucking bullshit after that.
Yeah, so we had the distraction from damage control. Um, the end of the match, we get well. First of all, um, right before the end, there was a roll up by Io Sky, and I really thought that was she was going to win off of that.
Right.
Um, and then we get the distraction from damage control. Bianca Belair, she's hanging on the ropes. We get a kick from Dakota Kai.
A hard
Puts
kick
her,
to the face.
yes, puts her in position to. She's in the drop zone now for the over the sky moonsault, and Io she climbs to the top. For some reason, Bailey is holding Bianca's hair to hold her down.
She's holding her in place so Io can hit her with the moonsault.
Yeah, for some reason, because she just got kicked, so that should have been enough. But Bailey was, putting the emphasis on it. Only problem is the referee saw this, and he was telling Bailey to let go of the hair. Through this, there was enough of the distraction for Io to pause. It gave Bianca enough time to move when she did the moonsault into the KOD, and that's how the match ended.
Bianca gets kicked in the face. There's a little bit of a distraction, and she immediately gets up without selling it, without any indication that she just got kicked in the face hard. And then she hits her finish. So like that just completely killed the match for me.
Wow. Oh, by the way, speaking of the match, did you see the spot where she tried to do the one-armed
The
gorilla
one-armed
press?
military
Or,
press.
yeah, military press,
Yeah,
and
you
it almost
can't
dropped her
be
on her
saying
head.
that with can't be saying gorilla with Bianca. Come on now.
Uh-oh. But yeah,
No,
she does this one-armed press, and then almost dropped Io on her head.
she did.
Well, almost to the point where Io would have been paralyzed.
Yeah. No, she dropped her right on her face. It was very awkward. And all to show how strong she is.
Yeah.
And she's not even like the biggest girl there. So I don't understand why she's got to be the strongest. Can't she just be
Well,
good? Can't she just be more like a Shawn Michaels?
she is the strongest.
Okay.
According to the numbers. She has, for the women, she has the records and the bench press and the combine stuff that they do. She has the records. So
she has all the fake records.
no, they're real records.
They ain't real records.
No, this isn't storyline combine. This is this is the actual combine that they do during the tryout to see if they're actually going to make it to be a WWE employee or contractor. So
Think
this is
about it.
in the door.
NFL teams, they'll exaggerate certain stats for players that they're either interested in or they want to make people think that they're interested in. What do you think the WWE does to stats and stuff like that? When they tell you right off the bat that they're fake.
I don't think they ever say that. They say they're scripted.
Vince McMahon said, "Oh, we don't want you to think we're insulting your intelligence anymore."
Oh. So I mean, what? It's not like these numbers get out, so why would they need to lie about it?
To make Bianca Belair look good. She's the little gold, like you said, she's the Cena. That's why Cena was a very strong, or is a very strong dude, but was he really the strongest throughout his entire run with the WWE? I don't think so. There's got to be at least one guy that could fucking bench press more
Well,
than him.
I mean, he did, he was there at the same time that Brock Lesnar and Batista.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry,
Mm-hmm.
was there. So, no, he wasn't.
And are you
I
telling me
mean,
that
one guy's name literally is the world's strongest man. How could he? How could Cena be stronger than him?
exactly? So, but Cena was positioned as the strongest person in the WWE.
I don't think it was ever positioned that way. I just think
Yeah, it was.
he
He
had
come on.
super
He
strength.
he used to F5 like 4 people at a time. Awkwardly. Not F5, FU.
Yeah, I think he was just like, I don't know, proving.
No, he was positioned as the workhorse, and he's strong, he's a gym freak. Go back and look at the tapes. And that's what they're trying to do with Bianca. That my point is that they'll flub shit like that. Do you really think that Bianca Belair is stronger than Doudrop?
Yes,
I no.
yes. Now you give me Rhea Ripley. Now we got a toss up, but Dewdrop, yes.
Belair's a track star.
You think? What do you think Dewdrop's been pressing? Well, first of all,
800.
I was gonna say something, but
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
it's canceled. I was like, first of all, we're talking about the women, so remember to take. So remember, 100 pounds is probably going to be the max here.
How much is the bar weigh?
Yeah, they got to use the little bar, the 15-pound bar.
The little bar with the little 10 pounds.
Yeah, and we just kid, by the way. Don't get no one who's listening. Don't get offended.
I refuse to believe that Bianca Belair is the strongest. Especially Dana Brooke's a bodybuilder.
Oh, she's got Dana Brooke for sure.
Bullshit.
I'm
Belair's,
telling you, the only person that it's a toss up is Rhea Ripley, maybe Raquel Rodriguez.
what track star do you know is stronger than a bodybuilder?
None, but do you see her back? Where's Dana Brooks' cuts? She ain't got no cuts.
She got cuts.
She just got no cuts.
She had definition too. She got muscles. Belair just
Y'all
has
just got
extensions.
cuts.
She got extensions that fall out in the middle of the match to make her hair look like a tattered rope.
Look at those striations in her back. Look at the trapezius on that lady.
I don't think she's. I refuse to believe she's the strongest. She definitely ain't the fastest.
Well, we know that one's true. Who's gonna be faster than her?
So do you think are they ultimately trying to get to Bailey versus Io Sky?
Well, I think they're continuing to build this rift that Bailey's holding Io back.
And why is Bailey just holding Io back? Why isn't she holding Dakota back?
I don't know. And I was thinking also, yeah, where does Dakota go in all this? Like, if
I
we're
think it's
creating
pretty
a rift,
clear where she goes.
well, I'm saying if they're creating a rift between Damage Control, there's 3 people, so
Hmm.
you got one side and the other side. Who's she siding with?
Impact.
Um, you got the you already got the people online who think EO pretty much just won the Money in the Bank off of that one performance.
It was a good one. It was probably her
And
best match. It was the best Bel Air match I've seen. It was obviously because of EO.
yeah, it was her best match on the main roster for sure. Um, I mean, that bar is low because she hadn't really had more than, she hasn't had time.
Right.
She should have had time the whole time. Um, yeah, I could see her being odds on probably right now to win Money in the Bank. Um, that might change soon, but right now she's the odds on favorite. And then I see her getting the contract. She's going to cash in on Bianca Belair, finally end the forever champion reign, because that's got to happen at some point. And then at that point, then I see her splitting from Bailey. Like, she gets the title. I don't need you anymore. You are holding me back. Or maybe like she gets the title and then like Bailey costs her a match. It's gonna be something where Bailey's gonna cost her, and then she's gonna attack Bailey. I guess Bailey's gonna be the heel off of that. I'm sorry, the face off of that.
Yeah, they're trying to play that up with this match, but I thought it was kind of a stretch. If she held her ponytail, it's not like she got in the ring and stopped EO from doing the moonsault.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to avoid having to say that, but it's out there now. It didn't make sense that because she was holding the like. Okay, she was holding the ponytail. What does that have to do with EO? That
Right.
shouldn't have stopped her from going up to the top rope and doing her moonsault.
Exactly.
It didn't make sense.
It
But I
didn't.
was trying to not point that out.
Well, it was a stupid fucking finish. It was just instead of like having a logical conclusion, they just fast forward to Bianca winning. That's all that mattered at that point.
Yeah,
So, whatever.
but we will see how that goes. We then go to backstage. Bad Bunny. He's getting ready for his street fight, which is billed as a co-main event. We're going
Which
to talk about that.
I thought he was getting ready for his Thriller video.
Oh,
Because he had one glove on. It was a Michael Jackson joke.
Oh, there you go. Funny thing is, I'm about to bring up Michael Jackson soon. So
there you
go. So Bad Bunny, he's getting ready. In comes Rey Mysterio. More Spanish talk, so don't know what happened. But he did present him with a kendo stick that had the Puerto Rican flag on it, and Savio Vega made an appearance as well.
It was in
Mhm.
Spanish, so I stopped paying attention. Clearly, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, it was for the Puerto Rican crowd. Our next match, Omos versus Seth freaking Rollins. I was interested to see where they went with this match, especially because you have the group of people, and I'll say in the community of internet community, it's about a 50-50 split on whether Cody or Seth Rollins is the rightful heir to the consolation title. So I was interested to see where they go with this, because if Seth Rollins lost this match, forget about it. He's not he's out of the running. Omos, he controlled most of this match. He did his Omos things, Snake Eyes. Um,
He looked really good.
he
To
actually
me, at
did.
least. He was entertaining. He didn't look like a stiff fucking tall dude. He
Yeah,
looked
he
like
actually did look
he
good.
looked like an athletic monster. And he became briefly my favorite wrestler ever when he had the way he started the match.
Oh, I didn't even mention that. So, the start of the match, Omos or Seth Rollins, they're doing the sing song, and Omos just attacks Seth Rollins
Kicks
to,
him right in the fucking face.
yeah,
Puts
to
an
put a
end to
stop to
that.
the sing song.
And I
Sing
stood
along.
up and I applauded.
Well, Puerto Rico, they were gonna go all night if he didn't stop it. So
Right. No,
it's a good thing they did.
he looked really good. I was a fan of Omos tonight. And if they would just let him win a fucking match, they have something special with him.
Yeah, he could start stringing together some wins. If he was winning, maybe we could be talking about him in this title.
Yeah, absolutely. Which maybe he'll
But
sneak his way in anyway.
yeah, they're supposed to at the time of this. They're supposed to announce the entrance tomorrow, Sunday. So it will definitely be interesting to see who is in the tournament. By the time we're live again, this would all have been decided. So
Look
that's
forward to talking
unfortunate.
about that.
But yes, but we will talk about who was in it and who's in the finals. Um, mid, well, towards the end of this match, Rollins he makes a counter, which then starts to get himself some offense because again, Omos was dominating this match. Rollins hits a frog splash. We get Omos kicking out at 1.
Forcefully
Uh,
kicking out.
yes,
He did the bench press kick out.
yes, at 1. Then we get Seth Rollins. He hits not 1, but 2 stomps. He pins Omos. Omos kicks out of those. So now everybody's thinking, well, what does he got to do to put this guy down? And then he goes to the top rope and does like a super stomp, and that is enough for the win. I didn't point out, but I do want to point out that at one point Rollins went for a pedigree, and Omos was on his knees because Omos is tall,
Right.
and he did a back body drop from his knee. Like it was, I don't think it was. I think it was underplayed how impressive that was. That from his knee,
Oh, they
he did a
mentioned it
back body drop.
on commentary. They're like, "Oh, that's otherworldly."
Like the whole time, I was thinking, man, I would have been so Charlie horsed if I tried something. Like my whole hamstring would have been gone. I'd have been down on the ground.
I don't understand why he kicked out of 2 curb stomps just to lie around and let him hit a third one.
They're trying to play up the monster thing.
Yeah, but then he's just sitting there like an idiot.
Well, he was still groggy.
He's still groggy, but then Seth Rollins. It's not like Seth Rollins jumped on the top rope. He took his time to climb up there, and all the while, it almost is just crawling around on his hands and knees like a blind man. I don't know. That just kind of ruined it for me.
Well, Rollins, he did get the win here.
Yeah, I don't mind Rollins winning, and I don't mind the super curb stomp. But what I do mind is he hits 2 curb stomps, almost like it's not that close of it's not like a barely a 3 count. Like he kicked out fairly soon. So that tells me that he's still in it. He could at least roll out of the way. He could do something. But no, he just crawls around and lets him hit him with the super curb stomp. Just another good match with a shitty finish in my eyes.
Well, that's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Well, we go into then our next match. We got Theory, Lashley, and Bronson Reed. This for the United States Championship. And this match, I didn't really take, I didn't really get much notes on this.
Oh, this was
There was
actually
some. Mhm.
this was actually better than I thought it would be. See, it's great going into these with no expectations because when stuff like the Bel Air and Omos and now this match, like they kind of exceed expectations because you're expecting shit, and when they don't give you shit, it's refreshing. What they're doing with Theory right now is great. Like I remember when he first won the U.S. title, he was a chicken shit and he was a loser, and I didn't think he could beat anybody. But now he's opportunistic. He picks his spots. He um, didn't dominate any of them, but he was in the fight.
Yeah.
And I even wrote down like they're gonna knock Theory out of the ring so Lashley and Reed can have most of the match, but that didn't happen. Theory was in there, and there was even a spot where he colluded with Reed, so that was nice.
And he fought out of the Hurt Lock.
He did. So yeah, he doesn't look like a bitch anymore. Like I said, him teaming with Reed was really good, and I even liked the finish in this one. I like that the Reed hit the tsunami on Lashley, and then Theory just came in and stole it. He tossed Lashley out of the ring. I thought that was great. It wasn't stupid. It was believable.
Yeah, it was the cowardly heel win, but in a
Yeah.
good way. I will say when this match, so I hear Bobby Lashley's music at the beginning of this match, and I'm like, why is Bobby Lashley here? Like I totally forgot that this triple threat match was happening.
That's fair.
I was like, what is he doing here? Is he gonna like an open challenge or something?
I thought it
But
was weird how they all had the same lighting in their entrances.
well, it's because they all have the same entrance, except for
Yeah.
Bronson Reed. You know, his
Well,
is I'm ready for war.
he's his music and his like how he walks the ring is different, but the lighting is still the same.
Yeah, so there used to be in when he was in NXT, there used to be a little detail that I hope that they bring back. So you know when he gets to the ring and then he does the stomp onto the step. So
Yeah, sure.
you're probably gonna think it's stupid, but whatever. So when he was in NXT, when he did that stomp, they did a camera shake, like the earth was shaking. I thought it was a good touch for him, and I want them to bring that back.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. They could have done that with Earthquake.
Yeah, didn't they? They didn't do that with. I thought they did
I don't know.
when he would hit his finisher.
Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
But yeah, good match all through and through. Theory, he returns his title, moves on to SmackDown, where he'll have a new, fresh line of opponents. Sheamus, uh, Pete Dunne. I'm thinking
The
uh,
Usos.
Grayson Waller.
Sokoa
who
Joe.
who I can't. I'm thinking Grayson Waller is going to be the next United States champion.
Yeah,
Uh, he was actually drafted to SmackDown through the supplemental draft, and I said it. I said it. He can he can be their version of he's WWE's version of MJF if they play it right.
I don't know, man.
What part?
MJF is realistic. Like when you talk or when you listen to MJF in his interviews and when he does promos and when he does his press conferences and when he does all that stuff, he's the same. He's just a dick. And you can't tell like it's there. You have to really pay attention, but you can't really tell when he's when he's being in character or when he's being sincere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody in the WWE has that. CM Punk would be the only one that I can think of that has that capability. Gunther, but that's different. Gunther's a different type of realism.
He's not being a dick. Well, he kind of is, but it's because he's being truthful. Like he's not saying it to be a dick. He's just telling you the truth.
Yeah,
Now you think he's a dick because he's told you the truth.
right. And he Gunther respects the sport of wrestling, but MJF, like remember when he told some a kid in a wheelchair to get up and walk away or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
But I do see, and that's why I say WWE's version because it has to be completely watered down.
of course. I don't know.
But I think like even he did his little interview on NXT. Not that I watched it, but I saw the clip of it, and he did his interview, and he's like, you know, this is Grayson Waller I'm talking about. He's like, I want to tell you that this has been a dream my whole life, and as a little kid, that I dreamed of this moment going to SmackDown. I want to tell you that. I want to tell you how humbled I am, but the truth is, I expected all of it. It's like I knew from the time I got here. As a matter of fact, I'm upset that it took me this long to get here. Like that was his, because everybody was doing their call up promo thing. That was his.
Right.
Like I knew I was getting here, and now I'm upset that it took me so long. So, and then he turned to the people because they had the like all the talent there with them, and he was like, and look at you people clapping like you're my friend. You're not my friends. I don't care about any of you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know too much
Yeah.
about Grayson, so but I do know about MJF.
Yeah, I'm just saying he could be their version of MJF.
I don't think anybody can be like I said. Punk would be the only one I can think of. They could just, but Lesnar too. Except when he wears that goddamn overcoat. But
Well,
anyway,
it's trouble. Um, yeah, yeah. But I can see him being. That's going back to who can be like a contender for the U.S. title. That, um, and then you got LWO. So Santos Escobar, he could be a contender. Anyway, point is, there's no shortage of new contenders. Karrion Cross, new
TikTok.
contenders.
I want to take a piece of you.
He's gonna take a piece of Austin Theory and lose.
He's gonna take a piece of that win column. You see, after I beat Austin Theory, his win column went up one. TikTok.
Yeah. What did you take from Austin Theory? I took his losing streak. Now he's a winner.
He should team up with the Viking Raiders.
Make a make a job crew.
They could be this generation's Flock. Because remember, the Flock was really cool and badass, but they'd always lose.
Yeah. Oh, when you see this group, you know they're they're about to get this L.
Right.
Who are they coming out to lose to this? It'd just be funny if they even played it to that effect on Smack or whatever show they're on. Oh, who are they coming out to lose to tonight? Like, just be realistic with it.
Right. TikTok. Oh, here it comes. Or you hear that. Oh, God, the Viking Raiders and the deer. Who's Valhalla telling them to lose to now?
Yeah. Who are those gods saying to lose to now? Those gods are misleading him. You might want to try oh, I had it and then you don't deliver it right and then it just ruins the joke.
It's all right.
Maybe I'll come back to it later next time. So then we go to our second women's match. Rhea Ripley and Zelina Vega. I know you're probably gonna shit on this match.
Actually, I watched Bianca Belair and Io Sky, so that was my quota. I didn't even bother. I did see the stupid fucking cheering, and they made a big deal about this little nothing, just being being Puerto Rican.
There you go. I knew you were gonna shit on it. There you go.
Oh, okay.
You got some. You got some in there.
Like, oh, she's Puerto Rican. That's special. I get like, I don't know. There's been Savio Vega, and I guess Carlito's Puerto Rican now. I thought he was.
Yeah, that was news to me. I didn't know.
So, I mean, they've clearly had better, more deserving talent of that type of reaction and response. But she's not featured on TV on anything meaningful. I didn't even know who she was. She's the cheerleader for a shit team whose only notable guy is famous for not being able to dive over a top rope. So for her to get a standing ovation and that
unfortunately that's not even the right person.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh shit. Oh.
But you did say you didn't know who she was, so there you go.
Is the other girl at least Puerto Rican?
I think she's black.
Oh God.
I'm not sure.
Wow. Okay, well, let's just move on. But anyway, she's just nothing.
So yeah, so we get Rhea Ripley. She makes her entrance first as the champion, and Zelina Vega. She comes out. She's wearing Puerto Rican inspired gear, basically the flag. Were they?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley was doing the. I'm pretty sure she was red, white, and blue too. The Puerto Rican colors.
No, she was all white, and
she had white, but her trim was blue and I believe it was red.
Oh, I didn't pay that close attention. I just saw the white. Zelina Vega, she had like the Puerto Rican flag with her as well. She comes out, she gets a big ovation. She's crying in the ring. Meanwhile, you have
before the match, she's crying.
This is all before the match.
Keep that in mind. That's important emotional. Later. She's crying before the match and getting a
It's
standing
emotional.
ovation before the match
It's emotional.
and having a moment before the match.
She's in her hometown, home crowd.
Whatever.
First time ever for her.
She
And you know who didn't care about any of that? Rhea Ripley.
didn't they say that she didn't even she was from somewhere else?
Well, she grew up in Puerto Rico.
I thought they said she grew up somewhere else,
Oh, I don't know.
like
They may have, and I didn't hear it.
like
But
Boise.
I think
She's
she
from
now resides in New York.
Zelina Vega was born in Queens, New York.
There you go.
Queens, New York. Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, because her parents died in the World Trade Center or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's American. And she's getting. Do you see? You see how stupid this is? You see how fucking stupid?
I mean, she is Puerto Rican.
She's
Just because
American.
she's born in America,
That makes her American.
no, that makes her
Yes.
Puerto Rican. What are her parents? Puerto Rican.
Her parents are probably New York as well.
Where are her ancestors from? That's where we're gonna have to go back to ancestry now. You know, when your ancestors are from somewhere else or something else.
Just because she's of a certain descent doesn't change the fact that she was born in New York. That's probably her first time. That's probably her first time being in Puerto Rico.
So you're saying
Go ahead.
if they have a let me think here. You're saying if WWE goes to Africa, they can't have I don't know, Bianca Belair get the big hometown.
But not when they have Omos.
Oh, yeah, he'd have to get it.
I don't know. It'd be like going to. I can't even think of it. It's just so fucking stupid, though. She's not. She might be of descent, but didn't they say Damian Priest is actually from? I didn't know he was Puerto Rican. I thought he was a black dude.
Well, I knew he was Puerto Rican.
I didn't.
Or not No, I'll take that back. I knew he was Mexican. I knew that part.
Oh, he's from New York too. What the fuck?
Well, anyway, Zelina Vega, she gets her big reaction. She's crying before the match. Rhea Ripley's staring her down. It's like
Bad Bunny was the only true Puerto Rican that night.
Oh.
Except maybe Carlito and stuff.
Well, I guess we can just skip to the end because there's not really much to break down in the match outside of what happened before and after the match of, the crying ovation thing. Rhea Ripley does what she needs to do and wins this match. She pretty much dominated the majority of the match too. So,
and they still cheered and cried for her. And so Savio Vega, Carlito, and Bad Bunny, those were the real Puerto Ricans. Damian Priest and Zelina Vega were New Yorkers. They're American. And they were getting this fucking hometown pop. That's stupid. That's like if we go to Germany or something and I get a hometown pop.
Well,
yeah, I'm with my people.
If you want to play that, then you could.
And I get to cry and have it all be all about me for a half hour.
There you go. See, I knew you weren't gonna. I knew you were gonna shit on it.
I didn't.
The second I saw her crying, I was like, "Oh, he's probably." He's probably.
She did it twice. She had 2 of those moments. It's bad enough one. You got the fake Puerto Rican. Just no. And by the way, they should get Carlito. I know we're jumping ahead, or I am.
Well,
But
that was pretty much it for the match. Um, we could talk about the next match,
oh,
which will then tie into what you're talking about.
yeah.
Bad Bunny. Oh, by the way, this was billed as the co-main event, but it was the third to the last match. So do with that what you want. And
Well, Zelina Vega was billed as a Puerto Rican, and she's from New York, so they're not on a good track record of being truthful here.
well, but they weren't. This was a street fight, a San Juan street fight, I guess was the title. Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny. Uh, Bad Bunny, he got a massive pop when he came out. The whole crowd, I will say, it was kind of cool hearing, even though I don't know anything about Bad Bunny. Um, but the whole crowd was singing his theme song as he was walking out, and it sounded like a concert.
So you don't know anything about Bad Bunny?
Nope.
I don't either. So doesn't that kind of take away the credence of him being the biggest superstar in the world, or whatever the fuck Michael Cole kept saying?
No, that just means we're out of touch. That's all that means.
No,
So
because
he
I know who that cunt who played Captain Marvel.
Brie Larson.
Yeah,
What does she
I
have
know.
to do with
I know who she
anything?
is, and I shouldn't.
What does she have to do with anything?
I'm
She's
just
not a
saying that
musical. She's not a
is she
music
the
star
biggest
in the world.
superstar in the world?
Music star? No,
Any star is she the biggest anything in the world?
no.
But I know who she is. I don't know who this Bad Bunny dude is.
I'm saying that's because you're out of you're out of the loop. You know who Kodak Black is?
Yeah, I do.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles sounds familiar.
Um,
I know a
Travis
little.
Scott.
I know Travis Scott. Didn't he do Sicko Mode?
Yeah, he's kind
Yeah,
of old. Drake. He's
yeah.
really old.
I don't like Drake.
Um,
You know, little Uzi Vert.
I wish I didn't.
Who's the Young Money YMB guy?
uh, I know the name. I don't know a song.
I don't either.
If I heard it, I probably would like, oh, okay. But
Yeah, Kodak Black has a Gremlin song that I really like.
so Bad Bunny, he just main evented both nights of Coachella, and there was another big musical fest that he was just at.
Okay.
So these are the biggest musical fest in the world. Just that, and he was the main event of all three of them.
Mm. Who is he playing with?
I don't know.
Well, that don't mean nothing because if he's playing with like Puddle of Mud or something.
Let's see. Oh, the Met Gala. He was at the Met Gala too.
That don't mean anything.
I don't know. The cool people, or no, I wouldn't say the cool people. The young people understand all that. I don't understand it. I'll go ahead and say that. But I did ask, what are we? I asked my roommate. I said, what are we looking at here? Like, put in perspective to someone I would know. And she said that this would be equivalent, and I already said this is not equivalent. Okay,
Okay.
but she said this is probably equivalent to like Michael Jackson in the 80s wrestling for WWE? Or, and I said, no, no, it's not Michael Jackson. By the way, the match is happening at this point. Now we're talking about this. This is this is not a comparison right now, because bitches were fainting when Michael Jackson touched them on the hand. They were fainting.
He right now he's not at the level of Michael Jackson when he was with the Jackson 5. What the fuck are your roommate talking about?
He is,
No.
and he's smashing one of the Kardashians too, which is another feat.
What
But
was it? Was it Bruce?
come on, are we the same person? I made that joke. When she told me that, the first thing I said was it the
Well, it's in fairness, it is an easy joke.
yeah.
It's there. It's there if you want to take it.
It's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, you just gotta you just gotta deal with the consequences.
But yeah, so I wouldn't say it was Michael Jackson, because like I said, Michael Jackson had people fainting when they
Yeah.
touched. So,
And I'm saying he's not as big as Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 was, let alone 80s Michael Jackson.
yeah, so if I would say, I would say probably
Bubba
Britney
Sparks.
Spears in the 90s, NSYNC, maybe that level, like NSYNC level. Maybe that's where he is.
No,
And then,
because I don't know.
well, they weren't having people faint. I know that.
NSYNC was everywhere though.
True.
This guy doesn't even. He's only been in Narcos.
Well, I'm saying in music, he is number one. Like that's irrefutable.
I disagree.
You can't. There's numbers behind this to prove it. Like you're just agreeing with facts right now. So
I don't know about the facts. I disagree. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. That's I was just trying to get into perspective how big of a moment this is, because I don't know much about Bad Bunny, if anything. If you know, in the comments, let us know.
That should tell you all you need to know about him.
Now, I said maybe like Taylor Swift. You know, she was pretty big at one point. I mean, I guess she still is big. Like people,
Yeah, she's still kind of big.
which I don't get. Like, why is she selling out shows still? Like, come on.
Because she's a pretty white lady. And she does like really easy, catchy dance songs.
She's Britney Spears.
Yeah. She's a more stable.
Kids, but
she's a more stable, infinitely more cunty Britney Spears. But yeah.
yeah. But this was a fun street fight. Bad Bunny, he definitely held his own. There was a spot where he gets Falcon arrowed off of I don't know, some kind of crate through a table. And this was outside on like the entrance ramp part. And I'm thinking, well, if he's this big star and he's taking this kind of bump, you know, good for him. Let's actually get to the good part of this match, though. That was a good bump, but let's get to the better part of this match. So, towards the end of this match, it really went off the rails. Damian Priest and Dominic, they run out to help I'm sorry, Finn Balor and Dominic, they run out to help um, Damian Priest. So now we got a 3-on-1 against Bad Bunny. All of a sudden, out comes Rey Mysterio. And he comes out and he's trying to help even the odds, but again, they've got the numbers. So we need someone else out. And to everybody's surprise, and by the way, if you heard the pop, that was probably equal to like, I mean, just under Bad Bunny's pop. But Carlito, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Carlito runs out. And he evens the odds in an LWO shirt.
He looked good.
Yeah, he's jacked.
He's jacked. He looks like uh like he looks like a Paco, like a Tuco. He looks like a Tuco.
Yeah, still got his hair.
Still got the hair, but it's not as, I don't know. It's different.
It's not as wild as it was.
Actually, I think it looks more wild. It's not as primed.
Yeah.
Like it looked like when he debuted, it looked like he picked that thing like an hour. This one was like he just slept in the back of his car and woke up ready to fight.
He probably was, you know. He ain't been in work for a while.
I think he's
So
still
he
wrestling
runs
in
out.
Puerto Rico.
Oh. Well, that's probably why he got such a big pop.
Yeah.
And because, you know, it's from Puerto Rico.
Yep.
But he runs out. He evens the odds. He does a backstabber on Dom, takes a bite of his apple. As he's taking the bite, Dom attacks him. Rey Mysterio, he attacks Dom. He gets him in the position for the 619. He does the 619. Then Carlito spits the apple in Dom's face. And then they roll out of the ring, that being Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. They roll out of the ring. They're trying to leave. So on one side, you have Carlito and Rey Mysterio. And then as they're trying to leave, out comes Savio Vega. And now he's in the entranceway. So now they're sandwiched in between Savio and Ray and Carlito. Obviously, seeing just one Savio, they're like, what is this? We're gonna go this way. And as they start to go this way, Savio calls out the the LWO. So you got all these people versus two. And it's a mugging pretty much. Savio Vega gets his spot in. Oddly enough, I don't remember anything about him. So
He looks old and overweight. He
yeah,
he
I was
looked
like,
the opposite of Carlito. But to be fair, he is older than Carlito.
yeah, I was like, I remember Savio Vega having the jacket, but that was all I pretty much remembered of him. Like I don't remember any of his moveset. I don't remember his finisher.
I
I
remember
don't
he had
remember his
kicks.
theme song.
He had kicks and yeah, that's all I remember. Because D'Lo had the frog splash.
Yeah. So we weren't exactly dealing with Stone Cold here, is what I'm trying to say.
Ironically
This
enough,
was like
they
a
had
B
a
player.
Stone Cold and Savio Vega had a nice little rivalry.
They did. Yeah, that's funny that I mentioned Stone Cold because they did. That was one of the rivalries I remember him in. Probably the only one.
I remember he didn't he start off with the Nation of Domination and then they kind of all split off. Yeah, wasn't the Nation of Domination Crush, Farouk, and Savio, and then they all like went racial? Or am I just pulling that out of my ass?
Crush was in, but I don't remember Savio Vega being in.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, they come out and now they've all attacked just Dom and Finn. Meanwhile, this match is still happening. But it was no disqualification, so there's that. And we get Bad Bunny. He hits a sliced bread number two that got us a near fall. And then for the finish, he hits a Canadian, or I'm sorry, he hits a Bad Bunny destroyer, aka a Canadian destroyer, and that is enough for the win. He beats Damian Priest.
So Michael Jackson in the 80s, right?
Uh, no, no, because yeah, he was slapping hands with the fans as he left, and they weren't fainting. So no,
Okay. But let's just say for the sake of argument, he is Michael Jackson
I would
80s.
say he's not Michael Jackson in the '80s. No, maybe like Beatles in their era, maybe
Okay.
there.
Really? The Beatles.
Maybe
No,
they were big.
no. Bad Bunny is nowhere even close to the Beatles.
They were big in their time,
They were huge. They still
but
are
they weren't.
huge. They're one
But
of the
they
most
weren't like.
influential and most iconic fucking rock bands of all time. They influenced Michael Jackson.
Well, I mean, man, I don't remember them getting people to faint.
Are you
Yes, that's what
fucking
I'm
kidding
holding on
me?
to. That's what I'm holding on to. The
They
fainting.
absolutely had people wanting them to faint. They're one of the first British rock bands to make it over here. And this is before the internet where everybody had access to information. People were fucking crowding the airports when they first came here. So don't say here, no.
Okay.
Let's just stick with my point is, can you imagine Michael Jackson in the 80s power bombing and pinning Hulk Hogan or Roddy Piper or Macho Man Randy Savage?
No.
So why in today's day and age is some fucking no name musician coming in and beating one of the top guys?
Well, I mean, you still had like the Mr. T's, and so you still had celebrity presence. Debo.
Absolutely, there was celebrity presence, but they didn't. Mr. T was in a tag match with Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan got the win. Mr. T was just there to not lose. He didn't win. He certainly didn't dominate. He had that boxing match with Roddy Piper, but it wasn't. Roddy Piper didn't get his ass whooped. Roddy Piper was making sure that Mr. T knew that he was a celebrity coming into a real man's sport. Because back in the day, they actually fucking had pride in that shit. But now you got this little musician coming in, and he's setting an example that anybody can do it. That's why we have Liv Morgan. That's why we have just people that shouldn't be in this sport. And then you got people like Gunther just wasting away.
Well, I mean, it's not just anybody. It is Bad Bunny.
Who's not a wrestler, who's not an
But you
athlete.
know, just
He's
just
a
his
musician.
appearance. His appearance, that's probably gonna be all over the any news press you want it on. It's gonna be all over that. It's gonna be
Well,
all over social
then he
media.
could have sang a fucking song, or he could have sang somebody's entrance music. He could have sang Rey Mysterio's entrance music.
Well, he also wrestles.
No,
He likes to wrestle.
this is his second
Well,
match.
I'm just saying he's like one of those celebrity wrestler appearance things like Logan Paul.
Okay. I like I like to fuck too, but that doesn't mean I should be in porn.
But you could be. If you wanted to, you could be. I'm not saying you just get up and go right now. You're like there's gotta be some things that need to be worked on. Obviously,
That's
not.
my
I
point.
mean,
That's my point. You got somebody just coming in, and it's not like he beat the Miz. That would make sense, or or Baron Corbin. But Damian Priest is positioned as one of the maybe top middle guys, and now he's ruined.
mm, I think
He's
I don't
ruined.
think he was ruined. That was such a
He
high
had
profile match.
he had a 30-minute match with a musician. Imagine if when Kevin Owens powerbomb Machine Gun Kelly through that announce table. Imagine if they actually had a match and Machine Gun Kelly won clean.
Oh, that's different.
No, it's not. It's the same fucking shit.
Or Kevin Federline
Kevin
attacking John
Federline,
Cena.
yeah. Yeah.
That's different. Didn't uh didn't Fred Durst do something in ring, or was he just a musical all the time?
I think they just sang. I mean, they may have like done something where he hit him with a chair or something.
Gotcha. ICP. They were wrestlers,
They
and
didn't
they
really
won matches.
wrestle, and they certainly didn't beat anybody worth noting. They were
But
a
they
free. They were a sideshow act.
but they wrestled, and I'm just saying, it was a high
I
profile
don't even
match.
think they wrestled. They just did moves.
They just did their spots. Well,
They were with the oddities where they all kind of they were like a little circus. They just were all a group and they just did things.
probably.
So yeah, I don't think that's a good. You can argue Zeus, but then again, you got a big muscular black dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to just the optics of that, you know, is believable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it, but I didn't watch it. So
Well, I was thoroughly sports entertained.
there you go.
We then move on to our next match. It was the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. I'm sorry, the Bloodline versus Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle, in a 6-man tag. They this match actually kind of started out a little bit slow, especially when Solo tagged in. Uh, Solo tags himself in. He tags himself in, not gets tagged in, and he attacks Sami Zayn. And from that point on, uh, a lot of the match was them beating the hell out of Sami Zayn. So it was kind of slow at that point, but I do think they started to tell a good story, as the Usos and Solo. Um, they kept playing to the fact where Solo would tag himself in uh, when they weren't ready, and then finally Jay he tags Solo, or no, Solo tags himself in. Finally Jay he's tired of it, so he gets out of the ring and then he tags himself back in, um, and he does it kind of hard. So now the crowd is like, "Uh oh," and it looks like we're about to get Solo attacking Jay Uso. Meanwhile, they're still doing on. They're going on with this match, And there's a point where Solo he hits Kevin Owens with the Samoan spike, and then I forgot how we exactly how we get there, but there's a point where he's holding on to Jay's neck, about to give him the Samoan spike. He doesn't, and we eventually get to a haluva kick from Sami Zayn. This was a close near fall. Solo he got in the ring and he broke the count up. Samoan spike to Matt Riddle. Pin 1, 2, 3. The Bloodline wins. Post match, Solo and Jay they're facing off, about to come to blows, and we have built a thorough story that Solo and Jay are about to come to blows. And of course, that doesn't bode well for the whole bloodline thing.
Yeah, well, as far as the match goes, I mean, it's the same shit that we've been seeing for the past month or so with the Usos and Riddle and Zayn and Owens. There's nothing new there. So yeah, the real thing to watch was the interaction between Sikoa Joe and the Usos. Specifically Jay, because it seems to be he's the one that's just not having it. And I just think I was waiting for Sikoa Joe to just deck him, but I guess they're just going to continue cock teasing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing what happens on Raw. I'm sorry, SmackDown. And then we also remember last week, Solo Heyman had sent him out to do whatever he was about to do. So we still don't technically know what that was.
Right.
So was he going out there to kick the Usos out of the bloodline? And is Roman gonna come back and that's actually what happens? We will see. But we then was it for this match?
That's it.
All right, so then we get our main event. No over the top entrance for me because this was not a title match. This was Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. And I didn't so yeah, as you know, there's no pausing. So I didn't get to see like what happened at the beginning of this match. But I know that Cody Rhodes attacked Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's really it. He attacked him before the bell rang, so he used chairs and shit.
Yes.
So like as Brock was coming to the ring, he got out, grabbed a chair, and just started wailing on him. And then they finally get into the ring, and he's about to hit him in the chair or hit him with the chair, but then the ref takes it away, and then they finally start the match. And then it was actually a pretty good match.
It
Which is
was.
not surprising. It's Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it was definitely a good match. We got what you would think from a Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes match. Cody Rhodes went to Suplex City. I think there was 9. I think I counted 9 suplexes.
9 or 10.
We got a Cody Cutter. We got multiple Crossroads.
Got a bunch
So
of
there was a
shining
point.
wizards.
Yeah. So there was a point in this match where Cody Rhodes, trying to help himself from getting suplexed again, he takes the turnbuckle off of the rope or off of one of the corners, and we got the exposed turnbuckle. And later in the match, he drop toe holds Brock Lesnar into the exposed turnbuckle.
And when is the last
That
time you
was
saw a drop toe hold?
a long time.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yes. And So Brock Lesnar, he hits the turnbuckle, and you don't think anything of it. But when Brock Lesnar stands up, his face is full of blood.
We get blood.
We get blood
It was
in
awesome.
PG WWE.
And you know what? They didn't stop the match.
The ref didn't even put gloves on, which was weird.
Yeah, he waited a long time to put gloves on. Like Brock is he looks like that bad guy from Captain America.
Yeah, Red
And
Skull.
yeah, because usually when there's a nosebleed, they'll put the gloves on.
Yeah, anything. And he was looking at him, so you knew he saw it.
Yeah,
But and and I'll say they had a good camera shot, like right in front of Brock, so it didn't look like he bladed. It looked like that was hard way. It looked like he legit hit that turnbuckle and it busted him open.
yeah. I don't know. It didn't look like to me. It didn't look like he hit it hard enough, or maybe I don't know.
Well, I mean, he definitely didn't blade because the camera was right on him and you didn't see.
Well, he could have. It takes a minute for your forehead to start bleeding, so he could have bladed before the drop toe hold.
I guess that could have happened. Now, I was really getting excited when I saw the blood. Um, I thought, oh man, this is about to, we're about to really turn into something of a battle. I thought Cody Rhodes was about to start bleeding.
That would have been great.
Yeah, like a bloody war was about to happen, but it didn't happen that way. But we get the blood from Brock, so awesome sight there. Brock he gets Cody into a Kimura, and Cody Rhodes
Cody
rolls him
Rhodes
up.
beats him the same way Lashley, or he beat Lashley.
Yeah, he counters the Kimura into a roll up.
Yeah, which that was a weak ass finish.
Yeah, I mean he just got two crossroads and kicked out of that, but a roll up you can't kick out of that.
Right.
So they
He's
didn't
got
think
that
about that.
Kimura so cinched in he can't just let go.
Or he's so focused. Now the one thing, I mean, they did keep talking about he's the best combat sport, decorated combat sport, whatever. But you could say, because he was bleeding, he lost his wits, so he didn't realize he was getting pinned. Like he wasn't ready to see his own blood, so that threw him off long enough to be pinned. You
I don't
could say
know,
that, but
but just the fact that he's beaten somebody that very same way, I don't know. It just kind of makes him look like a chump.
it does. But the blood, so
Yeah,
I guess
that was certainly good.
I guess a summation of the pay per view would be good matches with illogical finishes.
Yes, yes. Well, what did you say was your match of the night or of the week or whatever?
I'm gonna I'm gonna keep it to just the pay per view,
Okay.
and my match of the night goes to Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar because there was blood,
There's blood.
unexpected blood,
Okay.
and I will say that it was going to be Io and Bianca, but the ending ruined it for me.
Right.
So I give it to Cody and Brock for the blood.
That's actually exactly where I landed too, because Io and Bianca they had it, man. But just the Super Cena shit, like we had 20 years of that, and then getting that in female form just is not cutting it.
Yes, and come Raw, she will be, or I guess she's already the longest reigning women's champion in history.
Good for her, but whatever.
But yeah, it, it has happened. She is the forever champ. She's probably going to hold it. Um, I don't know if I said it before, but I think she's the one that gets cashed in on with Money in the Bank. That was just be my guess. Now watch, and I said it's probably going to be Io, but watch it be Charlotte come back again, win Money in the Bank, and then that's her whatever if title reign.
Because she has to stay on SmackDown.
No, she's oh oh yeah. I guess I contradicted myself there. Never mind. Forget the Charlotte thing.
Did she even get drafted?
Yeah, she got drafted to Raw, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, she got drafted. She was like the second pick. Yeah, she's on Raw. No, sorry, she's on SmackDown. Can't even read my own notes right.
So,
So then, yeah,
yeah, it
she
would be
did win
her
Money
and
in the Bank.
yeah. Okay.
What was your sports entertainment event of the night? Moment.
The blood.
So you gave the match to Cody and Brock, and then the sports entertainment to the Blood.
Yeah, I mean, how can doesn't get any more sports entertainment than blood?
Well, I'm actually
I mean, the Sokoa Joe stuff is good, but that's not blood. We've seen the Sokoa Joe stuff like for months now. We don't see blood every day. Not like that.
yeah, we haven't seen blood in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we see the little bloody noses and
I
like
mean,
the Finn Balor thing was the closest thing, but then they censored it
yeah,
like it's
they
North
freaking
Korea.
stopped the whole match.
Yeah, a blood feud.
They stopped the Hell in a Cell match because there was blood.
They stopped a guy. They stopped a man from beating another man who he's responsible for giving his wife a concussion. Just didn't make any sense. But I'm sorry. What was
Yeah.
your sports entertainment?
So mine actually goes to. I'm gonna give it to the the run-in thing.
Carlito.
Carlito.
Okay.
Carlito. That's my specifically Carlito. That was
Okay.
my sports entertainment moment of the week. Carlito.
Were you moved to tears as well with the New Yorker getting the standing ovation from a country she's probably never been to?
Well, she's been there, and no, I haven't.
Okay.
That could have been. That was a runner up.
Gotcha.
You know, because it was so emotional.
Yeah.
If I had any emotions, then yes, I would probably have been emotional.
Well, I'm going to Sweden next week, and I'm hoping to get the same same type
Bringing
of
that treatment.
reception. Yeah.
Good, good. But on that note, if you agreed with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you disagreed with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you made it this far, you might as well hit the like button and the subscribe button. And do we have anything else?
Just have a good night.
Have a good night, and Top Guys out.
Out.